Hello, Sprout. I'm Crimson Clover, and welcome back to Clover Reads. Today I have 3 stories from the r/relationships subreddit. I'm just going to be posting the titles of them today. And tell me whether or not you like this format. And then I'll just be reading the story, giving my opinion. Don't know how far into the comments I'll be digging, unless I think I don't have much to say. And let's get right into it. The first story is from user Alive4402. I forgot that today was my friend's baby shower, and I didn't attend. I created this account because I have no one to talk to, and I feel really bad. I'm 21 and a college student. It's the middle of the night, and my friend, female 21, posted pictures of her baby shower, which was at 1 p.m. You should be asleep that late at night. When I saw them, I panicked. She invited me, and I confirmed that I would go, but for some reason, my mind... The date was March 4th, not the 2nd. I wrote to her almost immediately, apologizing for not going, assuring her that it was not my intention, and asking if I could visit her another day to make up for my absence. She hasn't responded. She didn't text me, she didn't ask where I was or if I was coming. I know I have no right to claim anything from her, because the mistake was mine, but I can't help but feel hurt. We were both best friends in high school, but now, I don't even know her favorite color or food is. After we entered different universities, we started to grow apart. There were no fights, we just at some point stopped talking to each other about everything or looking for each other. I feel like if there was any chance of maintaining the friendship, I just threw it out the window, and I feel terrible. TLDR, I forgot about my friend's baby shower and she hasn't responded to my message. What to do? What to do? Okay, you said it's the middle of the night when you saw the posted pictures. So how late was she posting the pictures? Or had they been posted earlier in the day, and then you just saw them later? Because if it's the middle of the night and you're texting your friend, she could just be asleep. Hopefully she's asleep. Baby showers, they're big social gatherings, she could be exhausted. But if you just want to repair the relationship, give her some time. You probably hurt her feelings. I'm sure an apology is a good thing. Maybe assuming you bought her a gift, ask and the next day after she's gotten some rest, if you can drop it off. Ask to go meet for coffee or a meal. If she doesn't respond and you know her family, because you were best friends, reach out to her mom, ask, assuming she still has living parents, okay? Ask if you can drop off the gift with them. And if she doesn't want to be friends, then you just move on. Okay, I am going to read the comments. Patient Brody says, I'd send a gift and a card with an apology. Sucks, but it's an honest mistake. Okay, yeah, and people generally have baby shower registries. If you haven't already bought a gift, check the registry and see if there's anything you can afford. Gobsmacks responds with, yep, do this and then step back. She has a right to her feelings, on top of pregnancy crazy, so don't wait for a response on your time frame. She's the one slighted. She's the one who says when her feelings stop hurting. A regular educated guy replies, yeah, and maybe set up a time for coffee. Catch up and go baby clothes shopping or something. Can I recommend buying secondhand clothes? Because babies grow out of those things so fast, and you can spend so much money in something they'll wear for a week or two. Andre Wise a Girl says, she was probably way too busy to take the time to message someone who didn't show without any warning. I've had a baby shower. The last thing I wanted to do on that day was track people down and ask where they were. Give her a chance to answer your message. It's an honest mistake. Most sensible people would forgive it, assuming it wasn't a frequent thing you did, but also, don't try to guilt her about not reaching out. She has no reason to feel bad for that. True. Montburn says, I know OP is young, but I rolled my eyes hard when she's upset she hasn't chased down about it. You flaked on her, you don't get to try to be the victim now. OP's upset she didn't get a text. I'd be upset you didn't put my baby shower in your calendar, because who has a baby shower at 1 p.m. on a Tuesday? But yeah, give her a chance. The friendships usually don't last a lifetime. Cut yourself and give her some slack. Move on if need be. Oh, that's true. Wait, no. The 2nd is on Sunday. Oh, that's what Mont was saying. Right, because the 4th was on a Tuesday. I mean, stranger things have occurred. If they're both college students, then 1 p.m. on a Tuesday could be perfectly within their schedule. ABQ Cat says, if this isn't a frequent thing you do is key. In my opinion, we don't know OP or the friend, of course, but there's a lot of factors at play here. OP's annoyance at not texting back, pending parenthood, which will change their relationship and friends' priorities regardless. Whether this is a one-off or a pattern, them being so young. OP, your feelings are valid, though bluntly a little misplaced in my opinion. But then again, so are hers. It sucks when people don't show up for lots of reasons, true oversight or not. Give her space and send a gift. Michelle says, I had about 8 people say they were coming to our baby shower and didn't show. Honestly, we were just hurt. I didn't give a shit about the gifts. It was more about us knowing who cared. Only one couple apologized for not showing. I would be honest with her. I wouldn't have taken it personally if the others had told me why they didn't come after saying they would. And ABQ Cat responds to that with, yep, I hosted a surprise sprinkle for my friend recently. A surprise sprinkle? Is that what they're calling baby showers now? And we had a few no-shows day of. So besides having our feelings hurt because our friend is an awesome mom and friend, there are logistical issues that happen when people flake, bail, don't show. Like too much food, seating issues, games that don't work with X number of people. We also don't know if this is a pattern with the P or a true one-off. I think we all have a friend where this is a pattern and it is irksome. Though I'm not sure if that's a thing in this case. Either way, OP, send a give an apology and give it some time. Okay, I want to reread over OP's post. Okay, so she panicked in the middle of the night. Okay, I shouldn't say she, I'm just assuming. So it's the middle of the night when she's texting her friend apologizing. So I don't think she seems like she feels entitled. Sorry if I'm misgendering, I'm just gonna stick with the she for now. So she's hurt because she was up in the middle of the night, but social gatherings are exhausting. Friend probably went to bed. Locked post, new comments cannot be posted. Okay, I wasn't going to. Let's see if OP posted anything since then. No. I don't think they have. Overview. Oh, OP replied to Michelle. I'm so sorry you went through that. Even if I was the one in the wrong, I know the least I can do is apologize, not just disappear. I hope you and your family are doing well and that you are surrounded by good friends. OP also responded to Matt Burns. I have never attended such events. No weddings, no baby showers, no opening of a new house, nothing. It didn't occur to me that it might be a weird day for a baby shower. I would never say anything to her for not writing to me. As I said, I know the mistake was mine. But while I was making the post, I felt so bad that my feelings went away and ended up writing more about how I was feeling at the time more than necessary, I think. Alright, so OP seems to have calmed down. Hopefully their friend will get back to them in a day or so. And hopefully they can work things out, right? So moving on to the second Reddit story today. The title is, Therapist Says I, 22 Female, Should Break Up With My Boyfriend, 22 Male. Advice from Aisha, erotica fan. Interesting name. I will try my best to explain everything. I guess I just need advice. My boyfriend and I have been together for almost 3 years. In that time, I have only met his friends once, besides our mutual friends. He rarely invites me to family functions, which is okay, but his family often wonder where I am. It's not like I need to go to everything, but I feel like it's strange. I would assume if his family wants me there, he would want me there too. He just says he didn't think about it, inviting me. Whenever he games with his friends and we are having a sleepover, he won't let me speak to them, because he doesn't want them to know I'm spending the night. I started questioning more when he talked about moving in with those friends, saying I wouldn't be able to stay the night at his, and he would be staying at my house more. He rarely comes to my house. I live with my parents and he lives as his own at the moment, but I am hurt that he rarely spends time at mine. This is a conversation we've had in the past. A little background for context, he grew up in a very religious household. I did too, but less so than him. His family is very conservative, to the point I feel like I need to be on my best behavior at all times. After 3 years, I am only now starting to feel comfortable around them. They are super sweet people, never mean or malicious. I just live different than them. When my boyfriend and I first started dating, his mother was very protective over his virginity. Not overly protective, but I still think that any parent guarding their 20-something-year-old child's virginity is strange. It was enough that he felt scared to share things with his parents, which I get why. He's like that in a lot of different aspects, not just sex. Obviously, adult fun time is not something you just openly talk about with your parents, but he doesn't share much at all with his parents or his family in general. His family seem to like me a lot. His mother and I have plans to regularly get brunch together and spend time together. It's initiated by her, so I know that she likes me. We both have had conversations about this issue, and we were on the verge of breaking up recently. We both love each other and want it to work. He's my best friend. He's on the fence about living with his friends because of the fact that it would in turn affect our relationship. But in all honesty, I don't think his friends would care that much. They're not my friends, so I don't know them well enough, but they seem chill. I recently got invited to a game night with them virtually, and it was a good time. They seemed like normal guys, and I felt like I could be myself. But it fell off. My boyfriend fell off. I don't know what to do. Obviously, that was him attempting to change things, and I appreciate that. I've explained the situation to my therapist, and she says the issue is within him, and I shouldn't spend my life hidden away in a relationship. Which I agree with, but I wonder if I have played up the situation or overreacted to her because she's so adamant with me ending things with him. Maybe I'm just stubborn and love him and don't want to. I'm just not sure what to do. I wonder if there's any real issue at all, or if I'm making up in my head. Feel free to ask questions. I'm sure I left things out. Thank you. TLDR, I feel like my boyfriend is ashamed of me or hides me from his family and friends. What do you think? Is this breakup worthy? First, I want to know how frequently you actually go have brunch dates with his mom. Because you say they're lovely, sweet people who seem to like you. That might not be the case. They could be, if you're only seeing them like once a week or once every couple of weeks, they could be hiding how they really feel about you. People have gone way longer periods of time hiding what they feel. 3 years doesn't seem that hard, especially with infrequent contact. If he doesn't want you to meet them, there could be a reason. You don't necessarily have to assume that he's ashamed of you or embarrassed by you. Maybe there's something going on with his family behind the scenes that he just doesn't want to expose you to. Not meeting his friends more frequently, though, that's a little odder, I think. I know a lot of people like to have their friends vet the partner they're dating, although there's also sometimes concern with that too, like the friends might be overprotective or try to drive the partner away so that their friendship dynamic doesn't change. Let's scroll through the comments and see what people have said and if OP has responded to anybody. Adultracine. I have found in general that therapists don't explicitly say break up with your boyfriend unless you really, really need to break up with your boyfriend. Sushi Roberts responds, exactly. I can't imagine having a professional tell me something explicit like that when they try their best to remain neutral and then go on Reddit looking for non-professional advice. If your therapist is explicitly saying break up, it's for a reason. Durango says, yeah, it's usually incredibly unprofessional for a mental health provider to be that direct. The preferred method is to get you on the path where you realize more clearly what it is you need to do in order to get your life in order. Unless there's some bright red waving flags you're not seeing. Either your therapist are terrible or your boyfriend is, and I'm kind of leaning in the direction of your boyfriend. It's incredibly weird behavior. And OP responds, dang. Silver Stranger says, after 3 years, girl. And OP responds, so you think it's really bad? Not hopeful that it'll change? Silver Stranger says, why would it change now after 3 years of not changing? And OP responds, dumb question, but it seems to have gotten better since our conversation. Need You says, girl, you already got the advice of your therapist. Why are you asking strangers on the internet? Take the professional's advice and do yourself a favor and move on. OP responds, because like I said, I feel as though I might have played the situation up to her. So I wanted to lay it out simply for others' opinions. I think we need a lot more information. Okay, OP's therapist probably has, depending on how long they've been seeing them, like hours at least of conversation about the boyfriend. So they have a lot more information than they've posted here. Gavina Shen says, I agree with your therapist. You should 100% break up. Your culture and values are not compatible. Not bringing you much to his parents is weird. Not letting you speak to his friends is weird. His mother and his virginity is very weird. All of his weird behaviors are due to his religion and religious upbringing, as well as many social abnormalities caused by his upbringing. This would be very difficult to change, and he hasn't shown any signs of even wanting to change. It is what it is. Not saying he's a bad person or anything, but people that are that religious and have that many mental issues tied to religion are just different, and you guys will remain incompatible. Opie says, I know I fear this is the case. He's just my best friend. I love him so much. I can't detach that from the issue, I guess. Gavina Shin replies, the good news is you're only 22. You learn that you will have many best friends and loves of your lives over time. When you're in the middle of it, this seems hard to believe, but it's true. It's hard, but you need to rip off the band-aid. You have your whole life ahead of you. Opie responds, your advice is seriously appreciated. Thank you very much. And okay, Opie responds to another comment. My friends and passions are a big part of my life. I have a career that I want to pursue in entertainment. I want to move to New York or LA. He's not on the same page. Another issue that we haven't discussed. Oh dear. Okay, yeah, I agree with what most of the comments are saying. I want to know how long they've been friends. Were they like friends in high school and then just started dating after high school? Did they meet in college and then start dating in college? I definitely do think that if you're dating someone, you should be able to be friends with them. But if you can't have those conversations, open and honest communication is a big part of any relationship. And I think OP needs to be able to say, this is how I'm feeling, this is my career goals, and this is what I want to do for my career. Are you willing to either make the move with me or, see how does OP's boyfriend's career align? It's hard to let go of your first love. And it can form how you approach future relationships. I know that. Well, hopefully things turn out for OP. I think I'll keep an eye on the post, and if there's an update, I will either recover it in another video or I'll post it in the comments. And move on to story 3. I, 37 female, need a very different sleeping condition from my husband, 38 male, but sleeping together is important to him. Yeah, that seems like a pretty important part of a relationship. I, 37 female, need very different sleeping conditions from my husband, 38 male, but sleeping together is important to him. I struggle to get comfortable on a bed. I usually need to be in positions that are only possible to achieve with the support of the back and arm of a sofa. Have you seen a chiropractor? I do need an unusually cool environment in order to not be uncomfortably hot. It can be 40 Fahrenheit, 7.2 degrees Celsius outside, the heat off, and I'm opening windows because I'm boiling hot. My husband, together on and off for 19 years, living together on and off for 16 years, married for 9.5 years, of course, is a normal person who sleeps fine in a bed and isn't comfortable under 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 21.1 degrees Celsius. I usually sleep on the living room sofa while my husband sleeps in our bed. In the winter, I keep the front door, which when I sleep on the couch is about 2 feet from my bed, open a crack at outdoor temperatures as low as -4 Fahrenheit, -20 Celsius. My goodness! If I close it, I'm just too damn hot. In the summer, I'm on the couch directly in front of the living room window AC unit, which is our only AC. It doesn't really reach the bedroom, but the bedroom ceiling fan seems to be enough for my husband. Edit because I forgot to mention I have ADHD and anxiety, and I fall asleep best if I read or watch TV right up until I'm falling asleep, because it stops my mind from racing. If I try to sleep by just laying in the dark, my mind just keeps racing, keeping me awake. And I sometimes have panic attacks. He, on the other hand, needs it dark and quiet. This I can understand at least. I like to read or watch YouTube until I fall asleep. And my best friend needs it as dark as possible. Like, they have blackout curtains in their room. Although my friend is hotter at sleep than I am. We both like it around like 65 degrees in our rooms. I love cuddling with him. It's literally my favorite activity, but I just can't sleep with him. It hurts his feelings. He puts a lot of value on me being with him while he sleeps. I also admit it does decrease our opportunities for adult fun time. He's always trying to get me to sleep in the bed. He recently bought me some really nice new pillows out of the blue and confirmed it was an attempt to get me to sleep in the bed. I did for a couple of nights just to please him, but in the middle of the night last night, I just couldn't take it anymore, and I moved back to the couch. This morning, when he got up, he came to me and expressed his displeasure at moving to the couch. Nothing I say can convince him that my sleeping on the couch isn't about him. I understand that it does seem obvious that if your spouse is sleeping on the couch, there's a problem in your marriage, and that he probably thinks I'm just making excuses. But I really just cannot sleep like that. You might think he should be used to it by now, but there have been stretches of time over the course of our relationship when I've made a habit of sleeping in the bed with him. I just can't pinpoint any difference between those times and the times that I can't do it. The issue certainly isn't my feelings toward him, which are the most loving they've ever been. I'm looking for either advice on how to reassure him and soothe his ego, or compromise or strategies I could use to make sleeping together viable. TLDR, I sleep on the couch, it hurts my husband's feelings. What to do? Okay. First off, at 37, it's vaguely possible that you're hitting really, really, really early menopause. And you should go get your hormone levels checked out. Like, it's really uncommon, but it is possible. In general, I would say go get a health update. Go see your doctor. I wonder how long OP has needed to be in this cold of an environment. Because that seems really excessive. To need it to be as cold as 40 Fahrenheit to be comfortable, that is really, really cold. To get seen by a doctor. Make sure you're hydrating sufficiently. If this might be an underlying health condition, this might not be, but I do know that personally, when I'm not sufficiently hydrated, I get really hot really easily, and then I have a hard time sleeping. As for temporary solutions until you've gone and seen a doctor, there are sheets that are made out of a material that are meant to be cooler to the touch than regular like cotton sheets. I forget what they're called. They're a little pricier, but you can get pillows of the material, you can get bed sheets out of it, you can get thin blankets out of it, and I think OP is definitely going to be the thin blanket sort of person. Or no blanket. Look into a ductless cooling unit that you can put into your room. Or if your window can handle it, just a portable AC unit to chill the room and try. If she says positions only possible with the support of the back and arm of a chair. I can't picture what that would be, but you can get pillows to simulate that. If your bed is big enough, maybe you need a bigger bed. I don't think OP has said how big their bed is. I'm scrolling through the comments and yeah, different people are saying go to the doctor. Ellis Mom 1313 says, have you looked into this on the medical side? I'm a hot sleeper too, but this sounds pretty extreme. Opening the window and the door, is that safe where you live? I live in a pretty safe neighborhood, but at night while we were sleeping, would make even me uncomfortable. At 40 degrees Fahrenheit is pretty cold. I'm just wondering if you might be missing signs of a real medical condition here. Opie responds, I haven't. A lot of people here are suggesting it, though. Good. The open door is decently safe. We live in a small town, and we don't lock our doors. I have a screen door, which keeps animals out, and evergreen trees in the front that limit the visibility in front of our house. Small towns can have crime, too. Please be safe. I Think Thing says, also, what do you do when sleeping anywhere except your home? Traveling? Sleep over at friends? Houses? Camping? Uppy responds, I can't sleep away from home. I just lie awake till about 4 or 5 a.m., finally fall asleep for 2 to 3 hours, and I'm tired all day unless I get drunk. I Think Things replies, aside from the partner sleeping arrangement issue, this does seem to warrant a discussion with a medical professional, since it's severely limiting your life enjoyment. Ellisbomb1313 says, genuine question with no judgment. How often do you drink? I only ask because my body temperature stays hot overnight while I drink, way beyond what a normal would experience even as a hot sleeper. So if you tend to use drinking to deal with various issues like anxiety or issues falling asleep, that may be a side effect. The Pure responds, I drink so little I randomly gone 3 years between drinks and barely noticed. Willow Leaf says, I have the same sleeping overheating issue as you. Also, why my partner and I have different bedrooms. I overheat from diastenomia, which is one condition that can cause it. I have never heard of that. So, come here, Google. Copy. I want to see what that means. Paste on search. Dystonomia, also known as autonomic dysfunction, is a group of disorders that affect the autonomic nervous system. It controls involuntary bodily functions such as heart rate, blood pressure, digestion, and sweating. Okay, so that sounds like a general condition, and then there are probably more specific ones about overheating. Plupanoic. You've gotten some excellent advice on potential solutions. I bet your husband is upset because he told you there's a problem, and it doesn't sound like you've put significant issue into resolving it, i.e., he's hurt. I could be reading it wrong, but 16 years of living together and you not having checked medical sounds odd. OP replies, I mean, I've been trying to just give him what he wants without any concessions to myself for 16 years. The medical thing is complicated. I have severe anxiety and get irrational medical fears. Particularly when I have a panic attack, I don't want to waste doctors' time over nothing or get such a reputation as a hypochondriac that I won't be taken seriously. And I know I can't trust my own judgment in that area, so I've overcorrected and don't go to the doctor enough. I once let a case of gallstones go until it became an emergency because I just shrugged and lived with stomach pain and nausea for 7 years. Oh my god, OP. Go to the doctor. Full Metal Feminist quotes, I have ADHD and anxiety. I fall asleep best when reading. And right up until I'm falling asleep because it stops my mind from racing, I try to sleep by just laying in the dark. And then Bronze, does it have to be television? I have ADHD and I can't lie in the dark silently trying to sleep for the same reasons you, but podcasts and audiobooks help me sleep much better. The darkness leads to me falling asleep faster and getting better quality sleep. You can get a comfortable eye mask with little speakers built into it so you can only hear the sound. For the temperature issues, I sympathize. I need the bedroom to be quite cool too. That's another thing that experts say is better for good sleep. You could get an electric blanket with 2 temperature zones, which would keep your husband's side of the bed warm, and you can use separate duvets, a heavier one for him. So you really should see a doctor if you can't lie comfortably in bed with a pregnancy pillow. I have back problems and can't lie on my back without a special pillow under my knees to take the pressure off my lower back. But needing to sleep on a couch is definitely see a doctor levels of discomfort. And sleeping with your front door open is just absolutely insane. Press Wonders replies to this. Another thing they could try is separate blankets. My partner and I do this and it's super helpful. I'm in the middle of the night right now, and it's nice to be able to take my blanket off so I can cool down without bugging her, who's currently sleeping with a heat pad under her extra thin blanket. Some Kind of Onion Mummy says, yes, I can recommend sleep headphones and audiobooks. P replies, this is definitely a good idea. I tried audiobooks before, and while the audiobook did serve its purpose, when I used headphones, I was uncomfortable, and when I used earbuds, they fell out. This solves that. Yeah, I've seen those sleeping eye mask with the microphone built in, or headphones built in. I've thought about buying some for myself, not because I need the room to be dark, but because I need white noise to drown out the sound of other people in the house snoring. Listing Palm Trees says, have you tried some memory foam pregnancy body pillows to see if they can recreate the position you find comfortable, and maybe a fan or just a thick duvet for him to deal with the temperature? And no response to that. Okay, Princess Ferocious. It's unusual to need things that cold to sleep. Does your body run hot? You might be able to replicate the sofa back and arm support in the bed. I sleep with a body wedge pillow, and there's lots of other custom foam options you can use. Headphones for you and a good eye mask for him can potentially resolve the pre-sleep sound issues and light. The temperature thing is the toughest bit, especially if you sleep comfortably at negative 20 degrees Celsius. Do you suffer from heat during the day? What kind of bedding are you using? If you try to sleep naked and without any bedding, are you still too hot? If so, that feels like a medical issue. Opie responds, I do. We joke that I'm an Arctic creature. As far as the bedding and clothing goes, it's complicated. I generally need my middle lower torso covered, not for warmth, but for the pressure, weight, and feeling of comfort and security. I sleep clothed with a duvet covering me from about my lower chest down to my knees. I've successfully slept naked and uncovered in the bed in the summer if I'm acclimated to the weather, but positioning is still an issue and I miss that comforting weight. I like the weight of a blanket. Part of the reason I keep the room so cold is so I can have the blanket. OP responds to another comment with, I promise I'm not sleeping naked in the living room with the door open. We have kids in the house. I was saying I sometimes manage to sleep in the bedroom in the summer naked. No, he really hasn't. Okay, the question they're responding to was, wait, you're sleeping naked with the front door open? No way, please be safe. Also, I sleep separately from my husband. We make time to catch up, snuggle, and we get intimate before he goes to sleep. I stay up later than him. He knows how important sleep is to overall health, not to mention having a supportive partner helps. Has your husband tried being less self-focused and seeing your needs as valid and necessary for basic care? No, he really hasn't. It's just always been given that co-sleeping is important to him, so I try to do it. Before we ever moved in together, he once called me at 3 a.m. asking me to come over and cuddle. And it was not a booty call in disguise. He literally just wanted me to come over and sleep in this bed. Oh, that's sweet. Pie in the Sky says, thank you for the response. Glad you're being safer than I thought. I listen to a lot of true crime and never want to hear about you on there. About the husband, we're not discussing his wants and needs for connection and all of that. However, a lack of sleep is one of the worst things you can do for your health. Excluding crazy stuff, but things that we encounter daily, sleep is so important. Has he tried any problem solving for his issues? Or is this situation seen as only your issue and as such you need to problem solve? And you were the one making adjustments and not him? Has he tried sleeping next to a pillow, using a heating pad, snuggling before bed? This is a situation issue and not just you. You should be working together to fix an issue, not just you capitulating to him. He responds to this with, I think the pillow he bought me the other day shows a willingness to help find solutions. He was hoping they'd allow me to get comfy enough on the bed. I'm going to discuss the situation from this post with suggestions from this post from him. Okay. I think I'm going to stop with the comments there. There's a lot of agreement that OP should check out a medical professional. I quite agree with this. I haven't seen any suggestions on like the sort of sheets and pillows and blankets that can be used as a cooler material. So I might do something that I almost never do and actually post a comment about that. But yeah, it is easier to put on extra clothes to warm up than it is to take off your clothes and cool down. So I think hubby should be helping to cool the room down and putting on more clothes and maybe getting a weighted blanket for himself that can keep him extra warm, and let OP just try to get comfortable. But again, OP, definitely please go see a professional. Yeah, and I don't really have more to add to that. I know cuddles are important, human touch is important, we are a social species and all. It's easy to see someone taking their partner sleeping somewhere else as a personal attack or a condemnation of your ability to be a good partner to cause an issue that's causing issues. But sleeping in separate rooms is getting more common again these days because people do have different sleeping needs. And they're not always as compatible as just, oh, let's both lay down at 10 o'clock and both get up at 6 o'clock and go on with your day. And that's where I'm gonna call things for today. Let me know what you think of the format. If you think I should continue posting the blurbs as I read along. And give me your opinions. Maybe, it's entirely possible that you know more about such issues as this than I do. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Have I said that before? I think I did. I'm rambling. I don't like that. Okay, anyway. Thank you for watching. Catch you next time. Bye-bye.